What is your American dream?
My American dream is to spread love all over the world.
My American dream is to live in a safe world.
American dream is to come here to work because I love this country.
My American dream is to play one day in the NBA.
Out here in America, dreaming every day with my friends over there, and we're just trying to say, hey.
My American dream is good life.
My American dream is the life I'm living right now.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Welcome, everybody. It is Monday, August 16th, 2021. We are live. It is the dog days of summer.
Yeah.
Jonathan, you ever hear that, Jonathan? And it is Fuzzy Monday and the dog days of summer.
I've never heard that. What does that mean, the dog days?
Vanessa, that's quick Contreras. Have you ever heard that saying?
Yeah, I've heard that saying. I'm not too familiar with what it means, but is it like the end of summer? Like summer's creeping up, it's coming to a close, but I've definitely heard.
No, it's more, I think it means more that we've had a very long summer, and, or maybe people, it's too short for some people.
I hear that it's too short.
It's too short, but in other words, this is the hottest, densest part of the summer. You know, in other words, we've been through the summer and it's just hot, the dog days.
Yes, yes. I would call it the pig days because I've been sweating like a pig out there.
And Miami's got to be very doggy down there in terms of the dog days of summer. Very doggy down there, right?
Oh yeah. I think there's a lot of dog days.
Yeah.
And of course, it's Fuzzy Monday. That's why I just thought of it as I was saying it's Fuzzy Monday.
It makes sense.
It's the dog days of summer. All right, let's say hello to the squad. Let's see what's going on. Tigo Gotta says, squad up Christy Kinsali Day. How's Zaya? Squad up Carol, the Tiger, Willie L. Williams. Yelling from wherever he may be. Yo. Look out for those birds!
Oh, Lord. I hate them.
Jessica Levy. Squad up. Elizabeth Francis, squad up. Cher Strachan. Squad up. Welcome to the best snow of the week.
Show.
But she wrote snow. It's the best snow of the week to Cher. I believe she means show.
Yeah, I believe so as well.
Yes, but she says this is the best snow she's had.
I think she's so excited her fingers are just like... It happens to me too.
Okay. Christy Gonzalez, Michael McKenzie, squad up. And Christine Bennett saying, squad up, everybody. Mavo, Tom, Lisa Brunel, Veronica John, Lynn Magdato. And I am sure I've missed a whole bunch of people who are going to say in the comment section, what about me?
Yes.
What about me? So if I missed you, you can give me a what about me now. I'll come back and circle back in a second. Let's see what's going on YouTube. Jessica Leamy, squad up on YouTube and Facebook. Asila Enot, squad up. Lee E, squad up. Westman, Shan Smith, Sassy Official with a pre-immigration question of the day. I filed for VAWA. It's been 2 years. Should I be worried? Well, hopefully you filed an adjustment application, so you're getting your work permit. Hopefully you got a prima facie, so that way we know at least at the bare minimum you've satisfied all of their requirements.
Has your mic been off all this time?
Apparently.
So you've probably been going off of my mic. You sounded fine.
Well, yeah, you sounded fine. You sounded fine.
Because I scream.
You scream.
So it's getting picked up by all of the microphones in the studio. I scream. Thank God. I've got a pair of lungs.
There you go. You're a healthy man.
I am a healthy man. When I had COVID, I had double pneumonia, but my breathing was great. So I got a nice set of lungs. Sassy official, getting back to where I was.
Right.
Sassy official said, I filed for VAWA. It's been 2 years. Should I be worried? Assuming you have a prima facie, assuming you filed an adjustment, you're getting your work permit, no. If you didn't do one of those two, maybe a little sweat on the forehead a little bit to get a little worried. But VAWAs are taking about 2.5 years right now. Susie Q, squad up. Folly Babe, happy to join you live. And who else we got here? Kavar Harris, squad up. Miloslav Minkov, Sezo. There's no vowel in Sezo's last name. HMRC. How are you supposed to pronounce a last name without a vowel?
Maybe it means something.
Sezo HMRC. No vowel in the last name.
HMRC.
HMRC. Could I travel the country after I withdraw my asylum case? Yeah, I mean, but what do you travel the country with? I mean, are you in status, out of status? What's going on? Sezo HMRC.
Home wreck.
Home wreck.
That's what, I don't know why that just came.
No, wait. It's he has solved our problem.
Hamurku.
At least he has a last name with a vowel that we could pronounce it now.
Now we can.
It depends, Sezo. It depends on you withdrawing and doing what? You're going to fall out of status? You're going to be undocumented? Are you filing an adjustment? We need more. Just like we needed the vowel in the last name, we need more information.
Yes. And shout out to Dion Reed. Jessica Leamy said, you missed my mama.
Oh,
yes,
sorry. Sorry, Jessica Leamy. Did I miss anybody else?
That's it.
That's it.
It was just, Sezo says that it was a green card based on marriage.
A green card based on marriage. You travel the country, enjoy, take some pictures, send me where you are, give me a travel log. I've not been to many parts of the United States. I was just actually having that conversation. I've traveled to many parts of the world, but I haven't seen, maybe I've only been to maybe 25, 30% of the states in the United States. Maybe 1/3 of the country I've seen. 2/3 I've never seen. So Sezo, travel the country and send me pictures.
Yes, do that.
Yo, Vanessa, take it over.
All right, squad, you already know what time it is. It is time to start sharing because we got to get this to everybody. All parts of the country and the world. All right, because we're about to start schmoozing with Brad. We're going to be talking headlines and immigration news, including the ongoing situation in Afghanistan and as the Taliban takes control of the country, what it means for U.S. allies trying to evacuate.
And it's Monday,
allies.
Squad. And it's Monday, Squad. Even with so much heavy news in the world, we'd like to take the time for some warm and fuzzy stories about our animal friends, including a New Jersey woman who was forged a friendship with a groundhog. And we all know about people and groundhogs forging friendships on this show.
And that's all I have to say is and you can always call 1-800-529-5465, internationally 212-227-8933. You will see Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson with my head attached to his body saying, call me with your immigration question. Our lines are open right now. I will be taking your legal and immigration questions in about 15-20 minutes after our schmooze and our fuzzy Monday. And then later in the show, after we do social media check-in, I'm going to be speaking with Feyisola Akintola, the Special Initiatives Manager for Mayor Peduto of Pittsburgh, about her family's journey from Nigeria to the United States of America.
Nice.
All right, let's do some schmoozing, guys. All right, what a Monday. What a Monday.
Yeah.
Yesterday, 20 years after being removed from power in Afghanistan, the Taliban militia swept back into power. President Biden had announced in April that American troops would withdraw from the country by September 11th. He later moved that date up to August 31st, and most of the troops had already left. He insisted that the Afghan government and military, with financial support from the United States of America, would have to defend the urban areas from the Taliban. But since the announcement, the Taliban rolled right across the Afghan military, even though the Afghan troops outnumber the Taliban 300,000 troops to 75,000.
What?
Yes. Yesterday, Afghanistan's President Ashraf Ghani, he left Afghanistan. I don't know how to say goodbye in Afghan or Pushtan. I'm not sure the language there, but he basically said adios.
Wow.
Yeah, and he decided to leave to prevent bloodshed, and the bloodshed he was trying to prevent was his own. So he signed off, he ran, he said, long live Afghanistan. Now, to some people, they say this reminds them of the fall of Saigon in 1975 in the wake of the Vietnam War, as helicopters circled the U.S. Embassy as its diplomatic personnel were under evacuation orders. But U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said, this is not Saigon. We went to Afghanistan 20 years ago with one mission, and that mission was to deal with the folks who attacked us on 9/11, and we succeeded in that mission. The White House has ordered 6,000 troops back to Afghanistan just to help with the final evacuation. It is America's longest war. It began with the Taliban's refusal after 9/11 to hand over Osama bin Laden, who was being hiding in Afghanistan with the help of the Taliban. And as a result of that, Republican President George W. Bush ordered an attack on Afghanistan to go find Osama bin Laden and bring him to justice. Right. The United States took over Afghanistan. Osama bin Laden eventually escaped into the mountains surrounding Afghanistan and Pakistan. And for those who remember, it was Democratic President Obama who found Osama bin Laden. A lot of O's in there. Right. Osama bin Laden in Pakistan, and U.S. troops went in the middle of the night and killed him. Since then, this invasion, 2,400 service members, 3,800 American contractors, 1,100 other allied service members, 66,000 Afghan national military, 47,000 civilians, all dead, looking for Osama bin Laden, and then ultimately during this war. The price tag, guess what this price tag was? The cost to the United States over this 20-year war was $2.26 trillion, including the cost of rebuilding the Afghan government and training its military. What a shame. What a shame. President Biden, he went on television this afternoon after he was getting a little pummeled by the pumpkin. It was the pumpkin, actually, President Trump, who made the former President Trump, who made the deal to leave Afghanistan, left the Taliban in power. This would have happened no matter what.
Right.
Whether Trump withdrew, whether it was Biden, it was as a matter of fact, this war has gone on through 4 presidents, because every president up to President Biden was too big of a chicken to actually withdraw.
Wow.
And just kept this ongoing indefinitely. You see there a video of a U.S. military transport plane today trying to take off from Afghanistan with presumably Americans on it, and a lot of Afghan people trying to get on that plane to escape the Taliban, was not allowing the military transport plane to take off. People are literally hanging on the side of the plane. I don't know whether or not that plane actually ended up taking off. They would die. There were 7 people supposedly before we came on air that died at the airport already, whether it's because they got run over, they got shot. I don't know how people died, but at least 7 people died today at the airport. But really, it's 4 presidents, 2 Republicans, 2 Democrats, who they just kept this war going forever. And at some point, President Biden, I think rightfully said, it's got to come to an end.
Yeah.
It's not serving a purpose. We're spending money. We're losing lives. It's just an actual shame that this whole war was ultimately for nothing. We went in to drive the Taliban out so that terrorists presumably would not have a safe haven like Osama bin Laden to use Afghanistan as a base to cause havoc not only in the United States but around the world. The Taliban was defeated very easily by the U.S. military, but they were never disbanded. And then when President Trump made a deal to leave, he did not also make as part of that deal disbanding the Taliban. And ultimately, President Biden, Trump, Barack Obama, even George W. Bush, they all knew that when the military was going to leave, it was up to the Afghan people to defend themselves. They didn't know whether or not they would be able to or not, but at some point, how much money can you put into a country? What we've learned is the United States can never build a country.
Right.
We're good at destroying things. All right, military is very good at destroying stuff. Okay, you want some stuff destroyed, you call the U.S. military. Okay, you want to build something, the U.S. military can't build nothing. They're good at destroying things, but not building anything. So you want to build something, people who are living there got to build. And what we've learned time and time again, every time the U.S. military, whether it's Iraq, whether it's Afghanistan, you name the country, we've never built anything anywhere. It's up to the people who live there to do it or not do it. And President Biden, he said this afternoon, when I came into it, let's watch what President Biden says first.
How many more generations of America's daughters and sons would you have me send to fight Afghanistan's civil war? And Afghan troops will not.
Yeah, he said, when I came into office, I inherited a deal that President Trump negotiated with the Taliban. He left the Taliban in the strongest position militarily since 2001. He imposed a May 1st, 2021 deadline on U.S. forces shortly before he left office. He also drew down U.S. forces to 2,500 soldiers when Biden showed up. There was only a cold reality of either following through on the agreement to withdraw forces or escalating the conflict further, sending thousands more American troops back into combat in Afghanistan, lurching the United States into a third decade of war in Afghanistan. There's no right answer.
Right.
There is no right answer. He said, President Biden said, there was never supposed to have been nation building. Our only vital national interest in Afghanistan remains today what it always has been, preventing a terrorist attack on American homeland. And by the way, I don't know if now what's going to happen with terrorism. I mean, we've been pretty safe from terrorism for the last 20 years. Is the Taliban going to allow terrorists to reconstitute in Afghanistan now? Like pre 9/11? I don't know. I don't know. All I know is it's a shame that $2 trillion, imagine what $2 trillion could have done for people here in the United States or anywhere in the world. And it's a shame that people lost their lives. And after 20 years, there's absolutely nothing to show for it.
That's wild.
That
after
is what
20 years.
That's what the shame is to me.
Time flies so quickly. Like, even, I don't know for anyone else, but the fact that 9/11 is in history books throws me off. So, like, 20 years ago, like, this war has been for 20 years. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby confirmed to CNN the Department of Defense is aiming to relocate up to 30,000 Afghan special immigrant visa applicants. Those were people who helped the U.S. military. Usually they were translators. How is the Pentagon going to transport 30,000 people from Afghanistan whose now lives are right in the crosshairs of the Taliban? You don't think the Taliban's going to go and go hunt them down? These are people who helped the enemy of the Taliban fight them.
So did they hide them or anything? Are they like in
No,
hiding?
I
or
don't
they're
know.
just-
I don't know. I mean, I would assume the
Jeez.
Taliban knows where they are. How many places can you hide in Afghanistan? Although, quite frankly, Osama bin Laden found a lot of places to hide in Afghanistan.
What were the deals? Now it's kind of like, what did the U.S. have to say in order to have these people cooperate? And now here's kind of our time to, one could say, pay up. And it's how are we about to do that, especially with everything happening in immigration?
Well, I'll say two things. You know, the big criticism of Biden is that he allowed Americans to, he left Americans in Afghanistan when, he took all the troops out, and now there's Americans that are stuck there who could be in trouble.
Yeah.
That's a criticism. And the other criticism is that he left the 30,000 Afghans. Now, as for the Americans, it's been quite clear for some time that the United States was pulling out. Okay? The writing was on the wall. Trump signed a peace deal, said we have to be out by September 11th, 2021. That was almost a year ago. When Biden came into office on his first day, he said, we're withdrawing. Anybody who has half a brain who stayed in Afghanistan,
would have been out.
They took their own safety at risk, because quite frankly, they should have known this was going to happen, that the United States military was not going to be there to protect them. As for the Afghans who helped the United States, who have been trying to get out, I feel more badly for them because they didn't have an option. They've been applying to get out for years, and the U.S. government didn't let them. The other people who I feel very badly for, I feel badly for everybody.
Of course.
But the women of Afghanistan, because now the women have to go back to a more religious role, covering themselves up, not being able to take part in certain parts of life and politics in Afghanistan. Now, some people will say, "Well, I don't feel bad for them. This is what their role is, and if you feel that way, then so be it." But I'm more of a liberal person when it comes to that, and I think most people who are watching are as well. There is a mayor, a 27-year-old woman mayor of a town in Afghanistan, in Maidan Wardak province, and her name is Zarifa Ghaffari, 27 years old. Now, before I talk about Zarifa, in terms of Afghan women, okay, there are now millions of Afghan girls and women who are going to lose their freedom to go to school, their freedom to work, their freedom to participate in political, economic, and social life of Afghanistan.
And this because the Taliban.
Because the Taliban's taking over. Now, Zarifa Ghaffari, 27 years old, she became the youngest and first female mayor in Afghanistan in Maidan Wardak province. She is the mayor to this day. The Taliban has vowed to kill her. Her father, Wasi Ghaffari, was gunned down November 15th when the Taliban tried to kill her. On Sunday, with the Taliban preparing to assume control in the capital after its quick advances across Afghanistan, she was waiting for the Islamic militants to come to her home and kill her. She told the local news, "I'm sitting here waiting for them to come. There is no one to help me or my family. I'm just sitting with them and my husband, and they will come for people like me, and they will kill me. I can't leave my family, and anyway, where would I go?"
Wow.
3 weeks ago, Ghaffari said younger people are aware of what's happening in Afghanistan. They have social media. They communicate. I think they will continue fighting for progress and our rights. I think there is a future for our country. But the Afghan military basically laid down their weapons. There was no fight. After all of the training and military equipment we gave them.
300,000 of them,
yes,
compared to the 75,000. With all the training, I just don't understand.
I don't understand how the U.S. misunderstood what was going to happen. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, poor Haiti.
Yeah.
A 7.2 magnitude earthquake struck Haiti on Saturday. Almost 1,300 people dead, probably more than that now. The quake destroyed 13,694 homes. A state of emergency is in effect in the western southern department of Haiti. It struck about 8:30 in the morning, Saturday morning. Saturday's quake was far less damaging than the one in 2010, but certainly extraordinarily damaging. The United Nations has said that the most urgent humanitarian needs are expected to be linked to the provision of medical assistance and water, sanitation, and hygiene. Amethyst Arcelius, an administrator in Immaculate Conception Hospital, told CNN, "We are starting to receive help from NGOs and from the government, but it's far from enough. We desperately need X-ray film." That particular hospital currently has 500 earthquake victims, many with broken feet and limbs, as well as lots of head injuries. It's just another challenge to this country that is just one struggle after another struggle after another struggle. It's dealing from the 2010 quake. It's dealing from the assassination of the prime minister, on top of COVID, on top of food insecurity, on top of medical insecurity.
It's a lot.
And on top of it all, they're expecting a tropical storm to hit today and tomorrow, which is presumed to going to lead to flooding and mudslides.
One thing after the other.
Yeah. And our bad news is not bad enough until we talk about COVID. Because why not?
Right.
Why not before we get to the fuzzy?
Yeah. The number of weekly COVID-19 deaths is now rising in more than 3/4 of the states. The latest tally shows more than 4,800 deaths in a week. The CDC reports that hospitalizations have hit pandemic highs among all ages under 50 years old. And last night, the Texas Supreme Court blocked lower court orders that had allowed Dallas and San Antonio to impose mask mandates. They said it was illegal.
All right.
Magic 8 Ball. Will the world get any better?
Please.
Will the world get any better, Magic 8 Ball? Even the Magic 8 Ball he said the Magic 8 Ball says don't count on it. Damn.
All right. Well, I mean,
should I ask it again?
Yeah, let's ask it one more time.
Magic 8 Ball, were you joking around, or will the world really, really not get any better?
yeah, we need something here. Give us something.
Magic 8 Ball says the outlook's not so good.
Okay.
Magic 8 Ball, I'm going to ask you one last time.
Third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm. I don't like you joking around anymore, Magic 8 Ball. We need to have some good news. Will the world get any better, Magic 8 Ball?
Get down to business.
After the third time, the Magic 8 Ball says, without a doubt.
Okay, it was
It
playing.
will get better. It's playing around. I don't go for that Magic 8 Ball anymore. All right, let's get to some fuzzy news.
Yes.
Well, just when you thought that a human and a groundhog couldn't get any closer, that Sam is with me and the crew. A woman in New Jersey has forged a friendship with a groundhog she has named Cutie.
Oh.
Every morning when she opens the curtains of her back door, there's Cutie. Cutie first used to come to her door and look in as a baby groundhog 4 years ago. She started putting food on the steps for Cutie, and that's when he started coming by regularly.
Wow.
And becoming part of this woman's household. She says he's pretty picky about his food. Bananas are his favorite. Yeah, well, if you feed the groundhog every day, he's going to be picky
Right.
too. All right, she says sometimes she looks at her with an expression, what is this? I don't want this. So Cutie has been visiting for 4 years in the summer,
And she says the length of time Cutie has been visiting really makes it a special relationship. She knows he's a wild animal, but says he seems like he enjoys spending time with her. No, he enjoys
free food.
He enjoys the free food, and he doesn't have to go hunting for it. Right? Now, Cutie, as he got older, it's amazing how people get in their own head. Oh, this Cutie loves me. No, he loves the free food.
Yes.
All right, he can care less about you, lady. And it's Cutie got. What do you think, Vanessa? You think Cutie has any idea about this lady, or just wants the free food?
You know, I mean, it depends on what shoes you're looking at this at. You know, it depends. But yes, I feel like humans definitely get in their head.
Yes. All right. Now, Cutie, as he got older, has brought his girlfriend to visit too.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, so he says to girlfriend, "Hey, come with me.
Okay.
There's some lady giving us some free food."
There's a specific quote.
Yes.
It ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. So.
And then guess what? Cutie knocked up his girlfriend, and that brought his son along too.
Are you serious?
Yes, they're bringing the whole family.
It's a family affair.
Yeah. So so now they've named Cutie's son Dustin. She says more critters are now coming to the backyard. Cutie's telling everybody in the forest behind the fence, come over here. This lady's giving free food out.
Perlene Squire says, "Don't burst her bubble." Okay, so that must be her best friend.
That must be her best friend. But it's funny because Cutie goes back into the forest and is like, "Look, there's some lady back here giving us some really good food. She's cooking for us. It's warm. It's nice." And then we bring in everybody.
That's so funny.
All right, and we have an update on Wally the walrus. If anybody was curious, update.
Oh my God.
Yes, for the last several months, a walrus named Wally has been exploring the European waters far from his native Arctic Ocean, where his home is. He was thought to have fallen asleep on an iceberg near Greenland earlier this year, which then drifted south, landing him in Ireland. So Wally is now making the most of his adventures. Last week, employees from Clonakilty Distillery in Ireland spotted the wayward walrus. He has decided to rest for a while on one of their boats anchored offshore. He's taking the boat for a joyride. Adam Collins, spokesperson for Clonakilty Distillery, told the Dodo, believe it or not, that's the name of the newspaper, the Dodo. All right. It was definitely unexpected that Wally would be in our boat. Wally's been spotted in Irish waters before, but we never thought in a million years we'd see him here in one of our boats lounging out.
Right.
He seemed pretty relaxed and just chilling. Now, Wally has used this opportunity, if anybody's wondering, to, take a walrus nap on the boat. I was going to say a cat nap, but it's a walrus nap on the boat. According to Collins, Wally was still lazing aboard the boat as evening arrived and its owners headed back to dry land. They had to forfeit the use of their vessel, but they say it's an amazing experience to see the walrus hanging out on their boat.
Yeah, he looks real comfortable.
Yes, so much so for the adventures of Wally the walrus. And Chinese officials have announced this week that a wandering herd of elephants has traveled the country for 17 months, is finally on their last leg home. Oh boy, I have to be able to pronounce this word. The Zizhunbangana, nope. The Zhuanghuangbana.
There you go.
National Nature Reserve is by the border of Myanmar and Laos on the bottom end of the Yunnan province. In March 2020, I heard of about, I have pictures of me in Laos with elephants.
Oh, really? That's one I really want to see elephants.
But you want to know what I loved about, I'll tell you, I don't like to go, I've been to both types of elephant camps. Mm-hmm. I've been to an elephant camp that's really touristy. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how well they treat the elephants there. They're kind of in cages, and they have the people ride the elephants. And and I didn't like that as much because I felt bad for the poor elephants, and I really didn't want to give them my money.
Right.
I'd rather let the elephants be free. But when I was in Laos, they had an elephant camp that was finding elephants from these other camps that were kind of like the elephants were in jail.
Okay.
And they let them out in the
Oh,
wild.
nice.
But they still cared for the elephants because they put a fence, but the fence was like several miles
Right,
long.
so
they were able to graze, walk around, do what they
Just
want,
be.
just be there, be themselves, but
Yeah.
also be taken care of. Because if you let them out into the wild because they were held captive,
They won't know
they
how
wouldn't
to-
be able to
yeah,
survive.
yeah.
But they still allowed them
That's
to
good.
walk and be free. And I thought that was a really nice thing that they did. And I don't remember in Laos where it was, but I do remember it was a very wealthy couple from Greenwich Village in New York City that bought all of this land in Laos.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and was doing it. I got to look into that again more.
Yeah.
I like that. I like them. So, but in March of 2020, I went off topic a little bit about elephants. I just don't like to see the elephants in captivity.
Yeah, it's so sad.
In March of 2020, I heard of about 14 elephants decide to leave the jungle paradise heading north. At first, no one thought much of it. Wild elephants are known to roam freely and regularly in the region. Most don't stray very far and head home after a while. But months after the herd left, officials realized this was no ordinary trip. This realization hit home early this year when reports emerged of the elephants crashing into people's houses, munching on their crops, and guzzling their water. Experts have been baffled by their behavior, but in a paper due to be published soon in the Conservation Letters Journal, a team of China-based experts theorized that the elephants left to find more food due to several reasons. So, but they're eventually going to make it back. They've been wandering a while. I think elephants are cute.
I do too.
Are you an elephant lover? Some people love them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're very cute. Yes. And lastly, before we get to our immigration questions. Oh, I have two. I don't have one, I have two. Vanessa, the one over the schmoozing sign or the one over the iPad?
Definitely the schmoozing sign.
This is the schmoozing sign. Okay.
Yep.
Definitely. Well, you know, in Spain, cops were called to an apartment over a noise disturbance.
This is the one I wanted to hear
Yes,
about.
only to find a Home Alone cat had turned the stereo on way up with its paws. According to the local newspaper, look at that picture. According to the local newspaper, police went to the apartment building in Lugo a few Sundays ago after residents called to complain that somebody was blasting their music. But they quickly spotted the party animal lapping up to the beats while his owner was out of town.
That is hilarious.
Cops told the local paper that his cat was left in the house and he has the habit of turning on the musical equipment with his paw to get the volume up really loud. The unnamed Spanish guy who lives in Ronda das Fontinas complex, I don't know where this is in Lugo, Spain, returned home to take care of the kitty problem.
That is hilarious. Look
And
at
reduced. Cat loves the music.
You can't blame him.
Cat loves the music. All right. In today's Education, I discuss stop and frisk, not about cats, but about pat downs, right? Stop and frisk, because a frisk could be a cat too, I guess. No, stop and pat downs, also known as the Terry stop, and when the frisk in the stop and frisk, otherwise known as the pat down, comes into play. Let's watch. My goal is straightforward, to make the law usable and easy to understand for everyone. All of us in the United States have equal rights and should have an equal opportunity and a right to justice. I'm here to help because I want everybody to achieve their American dream. I'm Brad Bernstein, and this is your decriminalization Braducation. My objective is to make the law easy for you to understand so that you can use the justice system, know your rights, take advantage of the law, and achieve your American dream. Stop and frisk, known as the Terry stop. When walking down the street, what do you do when a cop stops you? And when can a cop frisk you? Now, the first thing you need to know is that a police officer can stop you on the street and ask you questions in furtherance of their policing duties. Now, when does the pat, which is the frisk, in the stop and frisk, come into play? The police can only pat you down or frisk you when they think you are armed and dangerous, or they believe you are in the middle of an armed and dangerous crime. And this, folks, is where the stop and frisk is often abused by the police. If you are stopped for suspected criminal activity that is not weapon-related or dangerous, such as public disturbance, drug possession, subway fare evasion, then the stop and frisk would hold up in court, but not the frisk. Even if the cop did find something illegal on you during the stop and frisk, it may not hold up in court if they did not have the right to frisk you in the first place. Moreover, if an officer legally pats you down and feels an object in your pocket or under your clothing, it must be apparent to the officer that what he or she is feeling is a possible weapon before the officer can remove it. An officer cannot manipulate an object for some long period of time to figure out what it is. There are even cases where if an officer can tell a pocketed object is drugs, the officer cannot remove that object as contraband. The purpose of a frisk is only to find weapons. All right, let's get the meat and potatoes out of the oven. We're going to answer your immigration questions. Turn the oven off. I think the meat and potatoes are done. Be ready. All right. Well, by the way, we got some open lines right now. So if you call, you will get your immigration question asked and answered. 1-800-529-5465. Let's go to Mohammed in Baltimore, Maryland. Mohammed's waiting 1 hour, so don't tell me he's not there anymore. Poor guy waiting 1 hour to speak to me. Mohammed! All right, I'm going to put him on hold. Hopefully he comes back. Let's go to Justina in Los Angeles, California. Justina.
Hello, Brad.
Hi,
Good
how
afternoon.
are you? How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for the job you're doing. Honestly, you really helped me a lot.
My pleasure.
I was introduced to the program by a friend.
Right.
I got married in 2019, and it's been a hell of a marriage.
Oh, gosh.
You know?
What do you mean?
I was expecting...
I'm listening. Justina.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening, Justina.
Yes. Okay, so it's been a roller coaster of marriage. I mean, I've suffered a lot, and I'm still suffering in the respect of leaving the marriage. So I was talking to a couple of people after filing for divorce, and they gave me an idea of VAWA, which I don't know what it means, but then I went online, started reading, and they gave me your link of watching your program. So I don't know how, I don't know if I have a private conversation with you.
Well, you can, but when did you get divorced?
No, I just filed in July.
So, okay, couple things. Yes, if you are, you don't have to share your personal, situation, but let me just tell you what the law says, and then if you'd like, you could have a private consultation with me. To do a VAWA, number one, you have to file within 2 years of a divorce. So the fact that you're getting divorced now means you have 2 years left to do this, or approximately. Now, in order for you to get a green card through VAWA, you have to prove three things. Number one, you and your spouse were in a Bonafide marriage. This was a marriage for love. It wasn't a marriage for business. And you got to prove that. And you do it on your own. Your spouse is out of it.
Yes.
They ask your spouse nothing. Yes. They don't go to your spouse for anything. This is all you doing it on your own. One, prove it was a real marriage. Two, prove you're a person of good moral character, meaning that you're a decent human being. You're not a bad person. And lastly, prove that you were either physically abused or prove that there was extreme emotional abuse. And lots of people say to me, what is extreme emotional abuse? Extreme means emotional abuse on a regular, daily, constant basis. If it happens day after day after day after day after day, you wake up, you're on pins and needles, you don't know what he's going to say, how he's going to react, what he's going to do. Put downs, manipulation, power over you, cursing at you, screaming at you. And it happens day after day after day. It's just like kind of knocking you on the head day after day until it's an extreme. It's extreme because it's happening all the time.
On daily basis.
And if you're able to show that day after day after day after day, and how do you show that? Because it's hard to prove a bruise on the inside. It's your own testimony, your own credible, detailed. You got to dig deep inside, and you got to be able to express yourself, what happened and how it happened and when it happened. And people who are able to dig deep inside, because I can't make stuff up, you know, you got to be able to tell me. But if you're able to dig deep down inside and be able to express what happened on a regular daily basis, and we can put it on pen to paper, because no one's going to interview you about it. You do it pen to paper in a long, detailed statement, and then perhaps other people witness these things and they can corroborate. Or you discussed it with other people. Perhaps you went for counseling, and your counselor, whether it's religious counseling with a pastor or medical counseling with a professional or a social worker or whatever it may be, and they're able to write a report about what's going on. All of that together, if we're able to show regular, daily, constant, boom, 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 boom. And I mean boom by psychological torture, not physical torture, that's extreme emotional abuse. Obviously, physical abuse, you know, if you physically hurt you and you have to call the police and you're injured, or you have pictures of an injury, or you went for medical treatment, that also is obviously a VAWA case as well. You file that application with immigration, with an adjustment application, so you can get your work permit, so you can get your travel document. And if you're able at a minimum to prove 1, that it was a real marriage, 2, your personal good moral character, and 3, that these things happened. At a bare minimum, they will give you what's called a prima facie determination, that you submitted evidence of all 3, and that prima facie determination allows you to go collect government assistance as an abused spouse. Okay? So you'll get government assistance, you'll get a work permit, you'll get travel documentation. Nobody says you have to stay in an unhappy marriage. It has to be done within 2 years of a divorce. I've now told you everything you need to know about a VAWA case. Now it's about saying to yourself, do I want to do this? Can I prove this? Do I want to go through this process? And if these things are a yes, then it's a good way to get a green card. So hold on 1 second, okay?
All right.
All right. Let's go to Rima in Los Angeles, California. Hi, Rima.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi. I'm doing good, thank you. Thanks for taking my call today.
My
Thanks
pleasure.
a lot. I have a quick question. My husband is on L1A visa and I'm on L2 EAD. They're going to apply. So if he gets labor approved by next year, June or July, what happens to my L2 EAD process? I mean, will I be able to work, or I have to stop until I get a GC approved?
No, you're on an L visa. They're doing a labor application to prove that he's not taking a job away from an American worker, because I guess he was not transferred as an executive or manager, but somebody with specialized knowledge for whatever particular company he works for. And once you get that labor certification, you're still on the L1 visa. He's still on the L1, and you're on the L2 visa. That's not a problem. You can still renew your work permit. Then you would file an I-140, an adjustment for him and an adjustment for you. And as part of that adjustment package, you would apply to renew your work permits, not through the L visa, but through a pending adjustment. So I don't believe, based on what you told me, I don't believe there would ever be a time when you don't have a work permit.
Right. So even though we are out of status, like pending status, I can still apply for the EAD extensions, and I can still work. Why are you out of
status? You said you were on an L2 visa.
Right. No. When the labor is approved.
After the labor, you're going to maintain your L visa status all the way up until the point in which you file an adjustment application.
Right. To the current timelines, if the company plans to apply the labor adjustment in September, or how much time is the labor approval, like approximately?
I don't understand your question.
Timelines. I'm just asking the timelines.
A perm application usually takes about 9 months, and then you can file as an EB1 because you're in the EB1 category. Then you should be able to file an adjustment and an I-140 simultaneously.
Right. Thank you.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
for the question. Thanks for answering. Thank you.
Okay. Tejas in Philadelphia. Tejas.
Yeah, hi, Brad. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I thank you so much, Brad, for taking my call.
My
I
pleasure.
just have a couple of questions regarding my immigration.
Yes, go
okay,
ahead.
so I applied for 2019 as a U visa and applied for my whole family. Now I got my biometrics and everything in 2019. So I have a question. If I want to apply for EAD, can I apply for now, or I have to wait until the USCIS review my case and then after I have to apply for EAD?
Well, you were always able to apply for an EAD based on humanitarian reasons, and you should do that. They're also shortly going to be coming out with regulations. They haven't done it yet, but shortly going to be coming out with regulations that if you have a bona fide application, you would be eligible immediately for a work permit, but they would have to send you that certificate. But by all means, you should be filing at this very moment a work permit based on humanitarian reasons. It doesn't hurt to try right now.
Okay, so that's why I just need to know that so I can apply for EAD. I don't want to wait because I see the.
But you have to do it based on. You just can't file an application. You need to show humanitarian reasons. Okay.
Okay.
But
right.
Hold on, and we'll help you. Hold on one second.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Mohammed. I think he's back now in Baltimore. Mohammed. Mohammed. I was told Mohammed's back. Mohammed. In Baltimore, Maryland. All right. 2 times now. We'll give him one more try, and then we'll give up on Mohammed. But he'll get one more try. Let's go to Valentine in Dallas. Valentine.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great.
What's going on? Valentine.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
What can I do to help you today? You're live on the air with me. It's your time.
All right. Actually, I have a question for you.
Yes.
I and my wife who got married March 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Due to the pandemic, she lost her job, and it's been difficult for us to actually cope with life. So
it's been difficult. It's been difficult for what?
For us to cope with the economic situation.
Okay.
So we lost our apartment, so we moved into a friend's apartment.
Okay.
The friends gave us a room, yeah. But because of the hardship, I was trying to see if I can help. And I wanted to use my friend's place to file for my work permit and social security so I can.
Yeah, of course. Why not?
But I was told I can't because my name and her name were not on the list. And
Just file wherever you are. You're in a bona fide marriage. You'll prove it at the time of the interview. Get your work permit. Got to help yourself.
No, what I was told is, since it's an apartment, I can't file because my name is not on the list.
And what I'm telling you is something completely different. So I don't know who told you what. I'm telling you, you're in a bona fide marriage with your wife. You're struggling. Let your wife file for you. Get your work permit. Go help out this family of yours. Worry about the interview proving you and your wife are in a bona fide marriage or where you live or everything else. Worry for that at the time of the interview. Get your work permit, man.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right? Okay.
Appreciate it.
Let's go to Antonio in Pittsburgh, California.
Oh, hi, Brett. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I called you a couple of days ago because I was helping a friend who got a notice of continuance on his N400, right? So we just got the letter, and they are asking for basically, the divorce decree, which he didn't have. Remember, I told you he had to to fix the divorce, and he is doing that. They're asking for the list of all address he lived with his, wife, and they're asking for her current and phone number if known, plus all pages of his current and previous passports, and the 2015 and 16 tax returns with W-2s. Do you have any idea why they're digging so deep into that?
Yeah, because they think he committed marriage fraud.
Well, yeah. I kind of thought about it too, but the thing was he has he got an IR1 green card, so he did the whole process consular. They've been married since 2011, and they only divorced in 2017. It's real. They lived in a small town in Indiana. Law enforcement.
I'm not saying it's a marriage fraud case. Very well, may be a legitimate marriage. I have no doubt about it. Your question to me was, why are they doing this? And I said they believe it's marriage fraud. It's now for him to prove it's not.
True. Yeah, okay, gotcha. The question for you is this. If we submit the divorce and the list of address and the passports, but without, the tax returns for 2016 only until 2015,
if you don't submit if you don't submit everything they ask for, I can guarantee you they will deny you. You've just given them a reason to deny you.
Okay, but if they deny, we can still appeal in federal court, right?
Depends on if you have a winning case. I think it sounds like your friend or you or whoever this is needs a lawyer. I would not be fooling around with a marriage fraud case, because a marriage fraud case could wind you up in deportation too. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's go to Carrie in New Orleans.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, pretty good. I got a question. I have green card, and I got 2 arrests. One was for traffic ticket, and the other one was for possession weed and trespassing property. My case was dismissed. Now, I had a case like case, civil case, and like a lawsuit, and I never say it in my interview when I did my adjustment status. You think I'm gonna have any kind of problem?
No,
because I never say it.
No, civil suit has nothing to do with immigration. Only criminal cases.
Yeah, now I want to apply for the citizenship.
It's not a problem.
Because I forgot to say it.
It still hasn't changed my answer. It's not a problem.
It's not a problem. It's not going to affect my citizenship.
My answer's still the same. It will not affect your citizenship.
Okay. Yeah, because
My answer's still going to be the same no matter what you tell me. A civil case doesn't affect your citizenship. You can ask me. You've asked me 5 different ways. I've given you the answer 5 times. No problem.
All right.
All right?
Thank you.
Good luck.
Okay, bye-bye.
Let's go to D in Hartford.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, D.
Hi. I got married in September 2017. I filed for my I-130 and my I-148. My I-485, sorry, and my I-765. And in 2018, I got my social and my worker's ID. Between that time, me and my husband was going back and forth. We were having problems. So I left and I went to New York. And then while I was in New York, I got a job. Then I filed officially in Baltimore. We had our first interview there in 2018 after I left. I went to the interview. I didn't get any answers on the interview. They just said that the case was pending and that they would reach out to me by phone call or notice to let us know what was happening. I still had my job in New York, so I went back to New York, and ever since then, it's just been a going back and forth with the immigration. I now live in Hartford. I moved my whole case to Hartford. Me and my husband aren't together. We're separated.
Okay. Well, you've been separated all these years.
Right.
Okay. So if you're separated, you're not entitled to a green card. You're lucky they haven't denied you yet. I mean, it's the bottom line. You want to get a green card through marriage? Either you and your husband are going to live together and have a financial relationship from the time you get married all the way to the time you get your green card interview until they grant you the green card, or you're going to separate and prove abuse. Those are your only two options. Other than that, get divorced and find another way.
Yeah, that was the reason why we got separated. He has substance abuse issues. Like, he used to drink all the time and get drunk, and the verbal abuse was horrible.
All right, so then you want to explore the possibility of filing a VAWA case then. But what you're doing right now is just leading to nowhere. So hold on one second, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's go to Hama in Bronx.
Hi, Brad. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I married since 3 years ago.
Uh-huh.
I did my interview last April. After the interview, 2 days after 2 days, the officer sent me the note and turned to deny.
Why?
Because we didn't bring affidavit, bill, and affidavit and bill.
They didn't bring an affidavit for what?
For the interview, we didn't bring affidavit and
what kind of
bill.
affidavit of what? For what? What do you need an affidavit for?
For green card.
What do you need an affidavit for? I don't know what you need an affidavit. You talking about an affidavit of support?
Affidavit support, yes.
Oh, okay, fine. All right. So you didn't bring an affidavit of support. So they gave you a notice of intent to deny. Okay, makes sense.
And bill. No, I want to know. We didn't bring affidavit and bill. They ask us more proof for 130. My wife sent him affidavit, bills, bank statement. Now I want to know, can I travel with my travel documents?
You have a travel document. As long as your case hasn't been denied, you can travel.
Yes, I have travel documents.
As long as your case has not been denied, you can travel.
I can travel?
As long as your case has not been denied, you can travel. How many times are we going to say this?
Because he said my case is under review. My case is review.
Until your case is denied, you can travel, or you'll get a green card.
I can go to Africa.
Until your case is denied, you can travel. Your case is pending. I don't know how else to say it. You can travel.
I can travel.
Until, yes. Not more than a month. Yo-Yo, maybe he'll listen to you.
Okay, thank you.
Does he understand, Yo-Yo?
Yes, I think he does now.
Okay, thank you. All right. Sandeep in San Diego, California.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Thanks for taking the call. I'm good. I filed for VAWA and adjustment on 24th June, and I received an RFE asking me for good moral character. And I had no criminal records, and I submitted them the police clearance report, and I have been living only in San Diego since I arrived in USA, and I arrived in USA on 1st of December 2018. So what should I do?
Say that again, I'm sorry. You're breaking up. I was just texting to say I was having trouble hearing. Say that one more time.
Yeah. I arrived in USA on December 2018, and I lived only in San Diego and nowhere else. And after filing for VAWA, they issued me an RFE for good moral character, but I already provided them police record, and so what should I reply to the RFE?
Well, why are they asking for good moral character? Do you have an arrest record?
No, there is no criminal record.
Have you submitted a police record from every place you've lived since you were 16?
Since I was 16, no.
Okay.
Since I arrived in USA, I only lived in San Diego. So
how long have you been in the USA, in San Diego?
Since December 2018.
So if you have a current police record, if you could show good moral character since 2018 from San Diego, I don't know why else they're asking for good moral character. So I'm
I
not
already submitted them, and it's no police report.
okay, then you would need to show me an RFE because there's something you're missing. I don't know what. But if you don't have, if you submit police records from everywhere you've lived, and you don't have a criminal record, that's good moral character. So there's some other issue that you're missing.
Okay.
All right, hold on. You need to show me what they're asking. Let's go to Marcia in Long Island. Hi, Marcia. Hi, Marcia. Hi, Marcia.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Brad. I'm just calling to ask you a question. Is it safe now to travel on those Greyhound bus from New York to Fort Lauderdale?
Not 100%. You always have the possibility that ICE can stop you. I've seen it happen over the last decade, especially as it goes down south. I think actually, I think the safest mode of transportation, believe it or not, is on an airplane.
The airplane is safer?
That's what I think. I've seen, my career, I've seen more people stopped on buses. I haven't seen that many people stopped by TSA.
Okay. All right. One more question. If the passport expired, can you still travel in America?
No, you need a valid passport to get on an airplane.
Oh, my goodness.
All right.
So it's still not safe then to travel on the Greyhound bus?
You live in New York?
Yes, I live here.
Why don't you get a driver's license?
I can't.
Yes, you can. In New York, you can.
Driver's license?
Yeah, they issue it to people out of status.
I didn't know.
Yeah, go do it. And get on an airplane. You have an ID. Yes.
I have the New York the ID, that New
York State identification.
Yeah.
So use that.
It can go on the airplane?
Yes.
I didn't know.
Eventually, you're not going to be able to use it once the Real ID Act goes into effect, but right now it's delayed. So for the short term, you can use it. And
I can use it. Go to
yes,
Miami and come back.
Yes, in the short term, yes. In the long term, you're going to need to renew your passport.
Okay.
All right. Good luck. Let's go to Abdul. in Newburgh.
Hello.
Hi, Abdul.
Hi, how are you? I have a question.
Yeah.
I live in Connecticut, and I have an AR program, and I have never been the problem before, and one time.
What's an AR program? I don't know what an AR program is.
In the Connecticut, like a clean up your history. Anyways,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, how I said, your no any records. I mean, for like this. I have a problem with my neighbor, and anyway, the question is if I apply the citizenship, is the AR program show up?
I just told you I don't know what the AR program is, so you're asking me will it show up, and I asked you what it is, and you're like, it's a cleanup, and I don't know what a cleanup is. So
yeah.
I'm not sure what you're referring to. Okay,
Yeah,
is it an arrest? Did you get arrested? You had a problem with your neighbor? You got arrested?
No. She would make music all the time, and she called the police. And I knocked the door, and she never opened, and she called me the police.
Okay.
She said,
all right.
Yeah.
AR program is pretrial diversion program in Connecticut. That means you were arrested. All right, so you don't even know what you're talking about. You were arrested.
Yeah, I know, but I'm never arrested.
You were. You were arrested. You went to a criminal court. You were.
Yeah, okay.
You have an arrest record, and the case was dismissed.
Okay.
So for you to call and say you don't even know what you're talking about, because I just looked it up. I just Googled it as you were talking to me.
Okay.
So the answer is yes. It will come up. You were arrested, and the case was dismissed.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So the answer is yes.
Yeah. What I need to do right now?
You just said to me, I'm going to file for citizenship.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Will this AR program appear? And I said, yes. Y-E-S. Yes. What do you need? You need a lawyer. Hold on one second. That's what you need. Case was dismissed, but you don't even know what you're saying, so hold on. You need a lawyer. That's what you need. Okay. Kareem in Dutchess County, New York.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
What's going on?
Thank you. Thank you for hearing my question, Mr. Brad. I have been 7 months waiting for my I-751.
Yes.
To remove the condition, and in December and next December, it will be 3 years on my having green card.
Okay, yeah.
So I can apply for citizenship while I'm waiting. If I didn't get the approval until December.
Correct. You could actually file 90 days before the 3 years, provided you can prove you and your wife are still in a bona fide marriage.
Yeah, we're still married and everything.
Okay. So December,
even
you
I
can
didn't
file
get
in
approved
October.
yet.
Yeah, if you didn't get approved, October 1st, file citizenship.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so the process that the two applications they can go together at the same time.
Correct.
Okay, so I have a friend. He filed for the citizenship like 2 months ago, but he married too. But what if he go through issues and he divorces before he get the the exam, the citizenship exam and all that stuff? Is it affected the process or anything?
Well, he has to prove he had a green card for 5 years, not 3. So it depends on how long he's had his green card.
Oh, so after applying, after 3 years, if he applied and got divorced, so he have to wait again 5 years.
5 years, not 2 more years, not 5 years, more, but 2 more years.
Yeah. The total is 5. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks so much, Brad. All right.
Let's go to Victoria in Seattle, Washington.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I am here trying to be fine, and I'm trying to see how you can help me get my son from Dubai to this place.
Okay.
Actually, he's not my biological son, but he is son because he is my late sister's son, and the mother just passed away this March, and my son passed away here too this March.
I'm sorry to hear
so
that.
I had like double tragedy. And
I'm sorry to hear that. How old is this child in Dubai?
What?
How old is the child in Dubai?
He's not a child. He's 34 years.
Okay. So
he's an adult.
Yeah. When you never adopted him then?
No, not yet. The mother just passed away this March.
You can't adopt a 34-year-old man.
I know.
All right, he's not
but
a child.
how can I invite him?
There's nothing. There's no aunt filing for nephew. Okay, because you're basically aunt filing for nephew. We would have to find some independent way for him to get a green card. I don't know. I would need to have a consultation with him.
With him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Has nothing
So
to do with
should I?
you. Yeah. Set up something with him. Hold on one second. All right. By the way, Jessica Leamy said, this is not Fuzzy Monday. This is Stressful Monday.
It has been pretty stressful.
Yes.
Woo. And just, you did great. You did great,
good.
Brad.
You did great.
Oh, one second.
Yeah, you deserve that. Like,
one second. No. I wasn't reaching for tequila.
Right.
I'm just like, woo.
You deserve it.
I thought you thought I was reaching for a drink. I just need to towel off a little bit after those calls.
At least getting hydrated.
Yeah. All right. By the way, if you didn't get your immigration question asked and answered, you can always follow me on Instagram at Real Brad Bernstein. You follow me on Instagram at Real Brad Bernstein. Drop me a DM. I'll try to answer your question as best as I can. You can also follow us at Brad Show Live. You follow us at Brad Show Live. You can't handle 2 hours, but you can handle 6 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds. Follow us at Brad Show Live on Instagram. And if you want your questions answered, perhaps, because I don't do it for everybody, but I try to answer as many as I can, perhaps get your immigration question answered by me on TikTok with a video response on TikTok. I won't dance, but I'll give you my video response. Follow us on TikTok at Brad Show Live. And Jonathan and Vanessa.
Yep, you guys can follow me at Jonathan Elias TV on Instagram.
And you guys can find me at Vanessa.Contreras.TV.
And by the way, you could also follow all our Braducations, I forgot, on OnlyFans TV. The only fully clothed, fully something or other. I don't know what I'm fully of. Full of knowledge and information on OnlyFans TV under the advice category. Bradshaw Live on OnlyFans TV. And later in the show, I'm gonna meet with Feyisola Akintola, who runs the inclusion programs for immigrants, refugees, and internationals for the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania Mayor's Office, and immigrated with her family to the United States from Nigeria. We're also going to check in on social media check-in, so stay tuned. We're going to see what all your issues, problems, concerns, questions. Jonathan and Vanessa have been scouring the YouTube and Facebook comment section for the best questions, issues, problems of the day.
Absolutely.
Or the most pressing.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
So we're going to do that as well.
Yes, and before that, Spartan Bernstein and personal injury attorney David Levy is going to break down the New York City Department of Building's zero tolerance policy for us.
New York City, the Department of Buildings, which is run by the Commissioner, Melanie LaRocca, has now instituted through her agency, the Department of Buildings, what's known as a zero tolerance policy. Included in that zero tolerance policy is her basically issuing the Department of Building inspection teams to run safety sweeps. The Department of Buildings, since June 1st, been conducting thousands and thousands of sweeps on construction sites all throughout the cities, and they're taking this very seriously. They're enforcing the rules. They're ensuring that all permits are being complied with, all permits are being issued, all safety rules and regulations are being followed, that construction workers are wearing safety harnesses, that they are given fall arrest equipment, because ultimately the duty is not on the employee, the duty is on the construction manager, on the owner and the contractor. These Department of Building safety sweeps have already shown results. Over 300 work sites have been either partially stopped or have been given full stop work orders. Over 1,000 safety violations have already been issued, and the fine for safety violations has been increased to up to $25,000 per violation. And this is all in a span of 30 days. So what does this mean? This means that your city, New York City, and the legislature takes construction safety very seriously, and they are on the side of workers. Workers have rights, and your city understands that and values that. However, no matter how many regulations are in place, construction remains an inherently dangerous activity. There will always be the landlord, the owner, the developer who thinks they're above the law and tries to cut corners and puts your safety in jeopardy. Whenever these violations occur, or whenever an accident occurs on a construction site, do not hesitate, do not wait. Immediately, as soon as practical, call us. We'll give you the information, we'll let you know your rights, and we'll listen to your case for a free consultation. We're here to help. We have helped hundreds and thousands of people, and we're ready, willing, and able to help you as well.
All right, and by the way, Sam.Lal with a question. Any idea when the cases are getting interviews in the Guyana embassy? My DQ, my documentarily qualification, I guess, is June 5th, 2020. I don't have any idea. They are trickling in extraordinarily slowly. The only way that you're going to be assured of trying to get an interview even this year is most likely, and this is most embassies right now because everybody is so backed up, is to request a humanitarian expedite. Humanitarian expedites would work for people who have medical issues. That's a good reason, or maybe some other humanitarian reason. But without requesting a humanitarian expedite, don't expect anything till next year. All right, social media check-in.
All right, first one is Tisha Mitchell, Brad Squad VIP member. Can I do the medical that's required for an I-485 in a state that I'm not living in, or can I only do it in my state of residence?
Well, you should do it in your state of residence. There could be questions asked why you're doing it in another state, but yeah, I guess conceivably you can. But they're going to ask you questions why you did it in another state, for sure.
Okay, this one's a little lengthy, coming from Akif Varani, another Brad Squad VIP member. My father wants to file for an I-485 under EB2 category. Priority date is October 2012. He was born in Mumbai, India in 1959. He doesn't have his birth certificate, but he has a matriculation certificate and school leaving certificate, both issued in 1975. He also has a PAN card.
Who's filing for who?
It just says my father wants to file. Is the father trying to file? And does he need any other documents? It seems like they can't prove.
I don't know who's filing for who.
No, he never named who's filing.
All right, who's filing for who? Is the father getting the green card, or is the father filing for the son? It's the son. I assume it's the son filing for the father.
Yeah, I think it might be the son filing for the father because he only speaks for his father, giving all the father's information.
Right, and the problem is the father can't prove he is who he is?
I guess. He says he can't prove, he doesn't have a birth certificate.
All right, so you can get secondary evidence, and it sounded like there was some secondary evidence. You can get affidavits from other people. More importantly, they're going to make a request for a DNA between you and your father, prove he is your father, and also prove that you had a relationship with him from birth to 18.
Liz Mahonja, a Brad Squad VIP member. How long is too long to wait for a biometrics appointment? It's been about 9 months since I filed for the I-485. And after the biometrics, how long will it take to get work authorization?
9 months is pretty long.
Peter W. James Jr., another Brad Squad VIP member. My brother is my joint sponsor on my AOS. Are his 2020 tax returns and W-2s sufficient evidence for an affidavit, or is it compulsory that he includes his 2020 pay stubs and letter of employment?
A job letter, yes. You don't need pay stubs, but the tax returns are fine. Tax returns and job letter.
Anna Nicole, Brad Squad VIP member. If a person gets a green card through VAWA, how soon after can they apply for citizenship?
3 years.
Lee E on YouTube, what supporting documents do I need to send with an I-130 petition for my mother who is overseas?
Her birth certificate, your birth certificate, proof you're a citizen, and divorce decrees and marriage certificates between you and any spouses, and your mother and any spouses. And of course, a copy of your naturalization certificate.
Michael McKenzie on Facebook, how can my daughter get a Jamaican passport if she is living in the U.S. and her passport expired?
Contact the U.S. Jamaican consulate. There's one right here in New York City on 3rd Avenue.
San Jacques Yatri on YouTube, how do I move my asylum case from one state to another state? I need to change my address. My case now says there are no future hearings for this case.
AR-11. Unless you're already in removal, then you need to contact the court and make a motion to change venue. So I'm not sure if you have a pending asylum because you are in immigration court.
Shioma Ionye on YouTube, can an undocumented immigrant travel within the U.S. with a valid passport?
Yes, they can.
Kionol on YouTube, my wife's visa got taken away at the airport in the U.S. I am undocumented and trying to see if I can get pathway to citizenship through President Biden's plan. Could she come back if I am qualified?
She's in another country right now?
It seems like it. My wife's visa got taken away at the airport in the U.S. Oh, no.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure why it got taken away, but it sounds like she got deported at the airport. We don't know what's going to pass. We don't know what bill's going to pass. But if you're in legal status as a green card holder or a citizen, unless your wife has a serious criminal offense or has been, tried to re-enter after a prior order of deportation, you should be able to get her back under current laws.
Leo Rock on YouTube. I got an RFE to submit an I-130A form for my husband living here. What's the purpose of this form?
The I-130A?
Yes.
It replaces the biographic data G325A. Biographic data.
Lucia Anquiliano on YouTube. How long will it take my husband to file for my green card, and what are the exact forms that need to be filed?
I don't know where your husband is, and I don't know what your status is. Are you a citizen or a resident? So give us more information.
Another one from Shioma on YouTube. What's the wait time to get a work permit after filing an asylum application with the immigration court?
365 days.
Kiki on YouTube. I have been married for almost 3 months now and am being abused. Can I file for VAWA now?
Yes.
Ione Russell on Facebook. If I'm married to an American citizen, how long after I receive a 10-year green card can I apply for citizenship?
It's 3 years from the time you got either your conditional card or your 10-year card. As soon as lawful residence, either as a conditional or permanent, 3 years from that time.
Statius Williams on Facebook. I recently became an American citizen. I want to file for my husband who is in the U.S. on a B1 visa. What process can I take to file for him? Also, his I-94 will be up on December 3rd. What can I do?
File an adjustment application in I-130, I-130A, I-864, I-765, I-131. Make sure you do it more than 90 days after his entry. And you're going to file a total adjustment package for him.
Natasha Baburam on YouTube. I have an approved I-360, a pending I-485, and have mailed in my medical. How long does it normally take for approval? My case is at the Vermont office.
More than 2 years, unfortunately.
And I have one from Shandell Barnwell on Facebook. Does a 14-year-old coming to America on vacation have to be vaccinated?
No.
Susu on YouTube. What supporting documents should I submit with my stepson's I-130 and I-485? He's 8 years old and his dad's petition is not approved yet. Should I wait or go ahead with his application?
Go ahead with his application.
Ariana Broderick on YouTube. I got an RFE for an I-130, but still got a biometric date, which I did on July 13th. I filed my application separately. What are my chances of getting an EAD before answering?
Hopefully soon. You should get it.
D.T on YouTube. I filed for my I-485 and I-130 in 2017 and still have not heard anything. This morning, 2 immigration officers came to my house asking to speak to me about my case. What should I do?
Call a lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kiki on YouTube. I was charged for conspiracy to distribute cocaine. Is it a misdemeanor? And it is a misdemeanor and I pled guilty. Can I file for citizenship?
She found guilty of cocaine possession?
They pled guilty.
Depends what it was and where. Like, for example, cocaine possession in the 7th degree in the state of New York, not deportable.
How about, is it the same with distributing?
Distributing
cocaine?
is sale of drugs. It's a completely different story.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
I think
that's what they said, distributing?
Charged for conspiracy to distribute cocaine.
That sounds like an aggravated felony.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be filing anything unless you speak to an immigration lawyer.
So it's a so it says it is a misdemeanor
I would need
and
to
I
see the
pled
disposition.
guilty. Yeah.
It's not what you're charged with, it's what you're found guilty of.
Awesome. Okay. Ref Run on YouTube. Will people who only received a notice of action for their I-130 benefit from the budget reconciliation plan?
Vanessa.
John No on YouTube. Apart from my spouse getting food stamps, what other government benefits might be a problem in an I-130 and I-485 case? And if I get an eligible second sponsor, are receiving these benefits still a problem?
Receiving the benefits are still a problem with the second sponsor. Any benefit that's means tested. Means tested is a legal term that says you're entitled to this benefit if your income falls below the poverty guidelines. Or If it's not below the poverty guidelines, that it's because your income falls below a certain level, even if it's a little above the poverty guidelines, like Section 8, housing. So means tested means you get it because your income is low.
Tanisha Bishop on YouTube. Is it okay to switch from consular processing to adjustment of status, even though I have an approved I-130 petition? I'm just waiting for my interview date. I keep getting letters to wait for 60 days.
Yes, you can file for an adjustment if you qualify.
Claudio Oscar Granados on Facebook. I have a VAWA approved and a pending AOS, but in 2006, when I was 16 years old, I claimed to be a U.S. citizen. Can my AOS be denied?
Well, a false claim to U.S. citizenship under the age of 16 may not be a problem. It depends on whether or not you were requesting a benefit for it. It depends on how long that benefit was given to you, and it depends how long ago it happened. So I would need to know a lot more. It's very fact specific.
Julia on YouTube. My son is about to age out in about 60 days. They've refused 4 expedited requests so far, saying the Jamaican embassy is not taking interviews. What can I do? He's documentarily
qualified.
You know I can't say that word.
It sounds like you need to speak to a lawyer now.
And
yes, go ahead.
Last one.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask the last question, but
Yeah, last one.
Okay, Marsha Velez on YouTube. I got married in 2011. My case was pending for 6 years and then got denied in a letter in 2017, stating that my husband withdrew the petition and I had 30 days to leave the country. I never left. Should I leave?
No. They didn't come to deport you yet. They're not coming for you. Let's figure out a way to get you a green card. Meanwhile, Feyisola Akintola is the Special Initiatives Manager for Mayor William Peduto of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. In her role, Feyisola oversees the city's Welcoming Pittsburgh initiative, which aims to build bridges across cultures. As an immigrant from Nigeria herself, Feyisola knows firsthand how important her work is opening the doors of local government to ensure residents and communities have access and feel welcomed. Let's watch. Feyisola Akintola is the Special Initiatives Manager for Mayor William Peduto of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. She runs the inclusion programs for immigrants, refugees, and internationals, and was the lead in the United States 2020 census effort. Feyisola came to the United States from Nigeria as a child and says as an immigrant and the oldest of 6, she understood the value of community and leadership from a very young age. Here to discuss her immigration story, her work, and what non-citizens arriving and getting settled in the United States should know is Feyisola Akintola. Thank you very much, Feyisola. How are you?
Thank you for having me. And hey to the squad. Squad up, guys. Good to be here. I've been practicing that. Squad up.
You are originally from Nigeria, right?
I am.
Where in Nigeria?
My parents are from Ondo State, but I was born in Lagos. Then we moved to Ibadan. Before we moved to the United States. I was 10 plus because we came March 26, 99, and my birthday was May 14. So I was like a couple of months short from, less than 2 months from being 11.
What are your memories from living in Nigeria before coming to the US?
Running around when it's raining in our compound. Every time we had holiday, my parents would take us from Ibadan to Lagos to go hang out with my mom's sisters. So we would go to like the amusement club where we'll go swimming and so on and so forth. So I miss that.
Why did your family move from Nigeria to the United States?
So we won the diversity lottery, right? So that used to exist. But my parents and then my siblings and I got the chance to come because of that. But I always remember like my dad saying when we were here, like, look, we did not move to America just so that you guys could play around. We moved for a better education. So get yourselves together.
What did your family give up in Nigeria, if anything, when they came to America?
That's a really good question, Brad. I would say a lot, right? Just like, I mean, for some immigrants could identify, right? You go to school. My dad was an engineer and he owned a business, Metals and Machines Limited. He created normally where you store oil, right? In the bag of trucks. We had like housemates, we had a driver, we had, you know, what kept us running. My mom was a stay-at-home mom with us. You know, she had the pleasure, the ability to stay home with us, right? But of course, like coming to America, it's like night and day. Right? You're not afforded this kind of opportunities.
What was your reaction when you came to America?
Well, to be honest, the very first thought that I had when we landed was the weather. I felt like it was cold. And I thought, wait, what is this? Why is it this cold here? Is this what this means?
How did your family adapt? Your parents had to start all over again, right?
That's right. I feel like, I've gained a lot of perspective. Yeah, it was a change in lifestyle, but I feel really humbled and really grateful to also be an American. I felt being able to be in a situation that you didn't have a choice but to figure out how to make it work, right? And to try your hardest. So for that, I'm grateful. I mean, it was challenging. And again, immigrants, refugees, they understand.
How did you learn to adapt, even as a 10-year-old, even as a teenager, and then going to college? How did that transformation happen?
Again, I came here about 5th grade. I was concluding 5th grade, and it was just trying to adapt to, I don't have to wear school uniforms, anymore. And what was great was we moved to Atlanta specifically because my mom in particular had a lot of her siblings here, right? So we stayed with her older brother prior to us moving into our own apartment. I still remember my 5th grade teacher, just because, to be honest, she was also like the first white teacher I've ever had. And she was just really nice. I remember, to be honest, in middle school, that was a little bit of a tougher part because then the whole idea of being naive started to fade away. And just the idea of, oh, wait a minute. People are talking about me because I sound different or because my hair is different or I smell different. I couldn't afford the latest clothes or outfits. So I was always dressed with what my parents had, and could afford. I came home and I would cry and I would journal and just be upset at, why, God, why did you bring me here? Why did you move me to this country? If all my parents were going to do was suffer and go through hardship.
Was it teenage anxiety? Was it feeling like you're an outsider because of the immigration experience?
I think it's all of the above, Brad.
Because your feeling inside is confidence. It really comes from your own confidence.
From elementary, middle, high school, I'd always seen myself as being inferior because I was looking at the fact that I didn't look like other people. I couldn't afford to wear things like other people. I didn't look the way that, other people who were seen as beautiful and glamorous and popular did. So I remember going to college and getting a chance to meet new folks, new people, and again, from different backgrounds.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to University of West Georgia, Carrollton, Georgia. But I think, again, as I got older, from high school, it got better. College, it got better, of course, because I was gaining independence. I was getting to understand the country a little bit more, find my own style, so on and so forth. And also, again, it's easy to look down or be angry when things are going not the way that you expect it to go. But when things start to look up, you change your perspective. And for me, again, it made me really grateful, even though I would not want to repeat those times, right? How difficult and how I was, called out in front of my classmates and so on and so forth. It made me realize the importance of treating people with respect and treating people with compassion, because I would never want someone to go through that.
Were there other Nigerians or other immigrants in your class or in your school?
I went to Stevenson Middle School and Stevenson High School. And for those of you who looked that up, it's literally like 98%. African American. It's a minority kind of community in Stone Mountain, Lithonia area. So I went to school, I attended schools with other minority kids. There were other Nigerians. I remember in high school, my best friend was a Nigerian. She grew up here, so she might have known how to navigate things a little bit more. And her parents are probably more established than my parents were moving in. So we were trying to meet our needs. We moved around a lot, right? Because at some point we couldn't afford to be in our apartment. So I remember from the apartment, we moved into a motel for a couple of months. But it was 6 of us in a 1-bedroom, 2 full-size beds, right? But it's funny though, because even though we were in a motel, at that point, my siblings and I, we didn't really understand that meant poverty. What we understood was we had a good time, right? Like we enjoyed watching movies, we were close, we were enjoying our time with our family. So it was later down the line that you realize, oh, wait a minute, that's an unfortunate situation. But during that time, our mind didn't go towards, oh, we were poor.
What job was your dad doing? Was your mom working?
Yeah, so my mom started to work for a public supermarket. My dad served as like security. He did security for a little bit, then he'd passing out newspapers. So he just tried to do whatever he could.
Ever spoke to your parents that they had second thoughts of coming to the United States? They had a pretty good life in Nigeria.
No, but to your point, I don't think I ever asked them during that point. I think now if I were to ask, I doubt they would say that because of, again, just how much my siblings and I have grown and have come into our independence and have seen the efforts that they've put in, hopefully bring forth good fruit, right? I know that's, hopefully, again, something that probably would look a little bit different if we were in Nigeria.
It's funny, no matter where you come from in the world, I think it's just human nature, parenting nature. Parents always say, I'm doing it for my children. You're a citizen now. You say, I'm an American and I happen to have immigrated. How do you look at yourself now?
That's such a complex question. I feel like it just determines, right, where you are. I graduated in 2009. I naturalized in 2010. And that same year in 2010, I went back to Nigeria for the first time as being an adult. And I went back to Nigeria because I wanted to have more of a grown-up experience in Nigeria, right? I felt like now I was in my 20s or 20 at that point. And I want to have a mature, kind of reflection of Nigeria. So I remember I started to work for an NGO there for a couple of months. And working at NGO just really helped shape my perspective a lot around Nigeria in itself and what I want to do with my life and the gift that being in America gave to me, right? The gift of a different perspective, right? A gift of, I have the opportunity to learn and glean from my life, my world that I could take back to Nigeria, right? And say, based on what I've learned, how can I work with, the NGOs, the people that are in Nigeria to help create better opportunities for young people? Again, the NGO that I worked with was geared towards how do we equip young people with the tools to start their own businesses so that they could create jobs for other folks because they knew that government wasn't doing that, right? So instead, let's equip the community to do it. That experience renewed purpose for me. Maybe then it was knowing that I am Nigerian. To be honest, I felt like I owned my immigrant story more than. Then it was like, I am Nigerian. I am proud to be Nigerian. But then I also appreciated the fact that I am in America and I am an American.
Tell me how your parents are doing now.
My parents are doing much better. I mean, now we've lived in stable housing for over 10 years. I mean, my goal is that we'll eventually be able to buy a home, have my parents' my own home. We're still renting, but we've not had to move for over 10 years. So it's been awesome to be able to see us get our foot on the ground. Of course, when we come, we depend on government subsidies, but to see us gradually fade away from that. So after I came back from Nigeria, to be honest, I was applying for grad school. I was trying to find a job. My aunt was like, well, in the meantime, why don't you just work and get some money? And I was like, what? I graduated. I started to work for Waffles for a couple of months, but in doing that, a friend of mine reached out to me and said, you know what, hey, I know you're trying to get your master's. There's a program in Georgia State that's really awesome, and eventually they could actually pay for you to go to school. And I was like, oh, and it's the BioBus program in Georgia State. And what that program is, it's a science-based program. And pretty much if people don't know about it and you're in Georgia, you should. It's such an incredible program where you have students, majority graduate students that help create modules that parallel go in line with the Georgia school standards. And what they do is they go to different classrooms teaching students for free. So pretty much it was based on the idea that we know that in terms of the states was going down in terms of STEM fields, right? Science, technology, engineering, and math, especially for minority communities. But you saw other countries really leaping and growing in that. So this was a way to kind of combat that, right? That you weren't just being lectured to, but you were interacting with science. You would literally just see kids just be amazed at science, at forensics. And we were discussing and really just encourage and light up the minds of youth. And it was incredible to really see how those changes occurred. And today the BioBus program exists. And again, it's free.
How long?
For almost 4 years.
Wow.
4 years.
And then you made it to Pittsburgh.
I did. I wanted to go to school, but I wanted to go back for business. I felt like I was just really entrepreneurial and I wanted to kind of learn that. So I was just typing on search and Chatham University came up and they had the dual degree program. They had the master's in sustainability and they had the MBA program as well. So to me, it was like the best of both worlds. I was interested in sustainability and then I got the MBA and I was like, awesome, I'm applying.
All right. So tomorrow we're going to hear the second half of my discussion with Feyisola and the work she does for Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, through the mayor's office, how she ensures immigrants, refugees, and internationals are all welcomed in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Nice.
All right, 9 immigration questions, 50 seconds. We're on a roll. All last week. Boom, 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 boom. Balloons.
So if we get it, you want us to keep on going?
No, we're going to do 9. Let's just enjoy our balloons.
Okay, I like that.
All right.
Let's go.
Glad we're all on the same page today.
All right. Can I get a work permit immediately if I change from F1 to F4?
No.
How long is an I-130 approval time for religious workers?
For religious workers, over a year.
If we filed our forms with a lawyer, do we take the lawyer to the interview?
You should, hopefully.
How long will it take a citizen to file for her adult son?
If they're unmarried, about 7 years.
Is my spouse starting school a good enough reason to expedite?
No.
Can my mother file for me if I'm 21 and overstayed?
Yes, but you may need a provisional waiver.
If I have a green card, can I travel with a foreign passport?
Yes.
Can a green card holder sponsor unmarried children over 21?
Of course.
Can a green card holder apply for his brother's visitor's visa?
No, the brother applies for his own visitor's visa.
Woo! Come on,
there you
man.
go, man.
Yeah, right on it.
What was?
1 second.
Well, what was? There was one question. I just gotta. I know you guys want to dance.
Can we dance for a little
Go
bit?
dance. Go knock yourselves out. There you go.
All right.
All right.
Now let's get back to business.
Let's get back to business. What were the questions quickly again? There was something I just wanted to expand on. I forgot which one.
Can I get a work permit immediately if I change from F1 to F4?
Yeah, I don't know what that even meant. F1 would be either a student visa, but I don't know what or you are F1 unmarried son or daughter of a U.S. citizen to F4 brother or sister of a U.S. citizen. Yeah, not sure what they're referring to there. But the answer I said was no.
Right.
Okay. Either way, no.
All right.
All right. Comment. That was it. Comments of the day.
Wow, the very first one.
Right.
Yes.
On the very first
Yeah, I forgot which one it was. Right. Because I'm concentrating. I said, which one was it?
That's good. That's
All
good.
right.
All right, y'all. First comment of the day comes from Abiodun Jimon saying, squad up everyone, another Monday and week is here to hear and know more from the guru in immigration law.
Oh, very nice. Thank you. Glad you joined us.
Yes.
Our next comment of the day from Tanisha Brown saying, this is the reason why I used Brad, because I can't bother with all the back and forth with immigration.
That's right. That part. All right, third one. Comes from Proud Mom saying, thank you, Uncle Brad, for breaking down the Afghan topic. As an international relations and politics graduate, I was trying to understand what's really going on there. You explained, quote, summarized it brilliantly.
Oh,
Thanks.
thank you very much.
Yes,
Thank
we get
you.
that a lot. You
Yes.
break down a lot of the issues going on and just news in general.
Thank you.
So thank you for that.
Thank
yes.
you.
Okay, next one. Don Harriet saying, it is in your best interest to call Brad first before doing anything regarding immigration.
Yes, I agree that too.
Yeah.
All
right.
excellent comments.
Yeah, and we have one
Oh,
last
a lot
one.
today. A lot today.
This is the last one about Feyisola's immigration story. This is from Linda Daly Attila saying, you're bringing back my memories of coming here at 7 years old.
Oh,
so,
wow. Yes. So
nostalgic.
so people have lived that experience.
Yes.
All right. So we'll see you all tomorrow for a little tea. I don't know what the tea will bring us.
It's probably going to be piping hot.
But it will be piping hot. We'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.
you doing?